Hello, my friends. Leo about to hear from Zen Habits. And as I record this, I am coming back to work after mostly taking a month off. And I highly recommend if you can take, I don't, most people can't take a month off, but if you can take a good chunk of time off, I highly recommend it. I do it twice a year. I don't fully take the month off, but I take most of it off. And it's challenging in some ways because I'm not doing the usual work that I'm used to and I have to fall out of my routine and feel a bit purposeless. But it's also refreshing because I give my mind that break and then I come back recharged. But what happens is I have a hard time coming back into it after taking some time off. And so, what I want to talk about in this video is the things that I'm doing to reset myself so that I can get back into things in a way that is productive and feels empowered when I'm feeling overwhelmed and kind of dreading getting back into work. It's not because I don't love the work, but it's because there's a big pile of things and restarting things turns out to be really hard. So what we're going to talk about here is how to restart when things are when it's challenging to get back into things. So this actually applies to habits. If you've fallen off habits, how do you restart? This applies to a work project that you haven't been working on for a while. But what I'm going to specifically talk about is what I do to get back into work tasks and projects, into emails and messages, my messaging with my team, getting back into the swing of my regular work when I have fallen off. So let's dive into it. Okay, so I love my work. I feel really privileged to be able to take this work on and to do this video for all of you. But taking some time off and then getting back into it is always a challenge. And in fact, not only do I have to come back to this twice a year, but sometimes I fall off at other points when I, take a little bit of a break for some family stuff, or I just for some reason have a hard time for a week, and things pile up. So the hard thing is when I know there's this huge pile waiting for me, I have to kind of like shake off the rust and get back into it. And that's one thing, is shaking the rust off and getting back into my regular work, but also having to face a daunting pile. So here's what I've been doing. And this is actually what I do every single time because it works really well for me. I give myself a little bit of a ramping up period of several days. Okay, so I know this is going to take some time, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to be at 100% capacity on day one. What I'm going to do is give myself 10 to 20% capacity on day one, 40% by day two, 80% by day three, and then by day four, I am full steam ahead. Okay, so that's how I give myself a little bit of a ramping up period. Now, if we're talking about habits or a project, that's a little bit different, but you can do the same kind of thing, which is like, okay, habits. I want to get back into it. I'm going to give myself a week to really just ease into this, like easing into cold water, right? It's going to first my toes, then my full foot, then, calf, like that, right? So how do I just ease back into things? And what I want to encourage you to do is just give yourself this ramping up period where you are purposely allowing yourself to ramp up. It's not like a failure if you only did 10% on day one. It's actually a success, right? So celebrate that. Now, in this ramping up period on day one, when I said 10 to 20%, it's not an actual percentage, but it's just like really light and easy. What I did this morning actually is I opened up my email, and what I first did was just open up the email program, and then I walked away from it. And I got a sip of water, I stretched, I moved around, and then I came back and I looked at the first email. And in fact, the first thing I did was start clearing away the easy stuff, right? I don't need this notification, this notification, this notification. Unsubscribed from a bunch of, promotional stuff and even newsletters. I unsubscribed, cleared out notifications, just did that. And I did that in several bouts, right? So easy stuff, Clear, 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 clear. Get up, stretch, breathe, move around, do something, come back. Clear out a bunch of easy stuff. Stretch, breathe, move around, drink some water, shake it off, shake off all the nervousness and overwhelm, come back, do the same thing. And then by the time I had done that, now I've cleared it down to, 20, 30, like actual emails that I have to take some actions on. Okay, great. That's a success. I celebrate that. Then I open up the first one. Actually, I scan through what are the easiest ones where I can probably just do a quick reply. So I just open that one. I walk away. I haven't replied to it yet. I walk away, stretch, water, whatever, come back. And sometimes I like to have two things going at once. So maybe I'm cleaning over here and I come back over here and I do that. Back emails, clean, emails, clean. And I give myself a little bit of back and forth. But I reply to that quick one and I reply. I do all the quick replies, but the same thing, open it up, walk away, come back, type a reply, press send, get up. And as I do this, I'm feeling good. I'm like, man, I am moving. I've gotten my emails down from 25 to 10. Amazing. I can now put that off until tomorrow. But I've gotten myself back into it. I open up my work messaging app. I start doing the same thing. Then I do another bout after that with some messages that I haven't responded to for a while. Hey, sorry I haven't replied. Catching up on messages. Here's my reply. Get up every single time I open one of those messages. I reply, get up, do the same thing. And so back and forth, in and out. This is like breathing. This is like yoga where you're in and out of the pose. And so I let myself rest and back. It's intervals, right? And that's how I start working through things. Emails, messages, team messaging app. Now, as I do this, I'm also starting to build a to-do list. Now, I have a to-do list already. I am not opening that one up for now. I'm going to start a fresh to-do list. And I make ones from my emails, from my messages and my team messages. I start putting them on there. And as I think of other things, oh yeah, I put that on there. But now the the to-do list starts to get to be like this. So I put that aside and I open a new to-do list, which is just for today. And I want to only have 2 or 3 things on there. So I pull them from the bigger list and put them on the today list. And I'm just focusing on 2 or 3 things for today. For today, one of my things is recording this video. And then and I do this and I'm going to be like, yes, I did it. Tomorrow, I'm going to work on some more of those 10 emails that are piled up and clear out whatever else has come in along the way. So I'm not going to finish all those 10 emails. Maybe I just get 3 to 5 of those 10 emails that are left. But slowly I'm shrinking my emails down and putting things as needed into the to-do list. And so I do more of that and I make a new today list tomorrow. On day 2, I'm going to make a new today list, pull from some of the other things for today. And maybe I have 3 to 5 things maybe 3 things on my today list. And I do that for several days. Building up, getting back into the swing of things. On one of these days, I like to have a meeting with someone. It really helps. Today, I actually had a meeting with someone. Okay, let's get into a meeting. Let's talk about things. And just being on the call with someone helps me. And I only like to do one meeting, but I like to do that because it really helps me to get into things. Now, if you're doing a project that you're dusting off, get into a meeting and talk to someone about that project, if possible. If it's a habit, get an accountability partner or just talk to your spouse, to your friend about how you're going to get back into this. Talking to people really helps. It airs out any kind of shame and any kind of resistance that you have. And then holding yourself accountable. Make a commitment to someone else. This is what I'm going to do. I will send this to you by the end of tomorrow. Something like that. So that really helps me. Now, at some point, the last thing I want to say is that you can get yourself excited about something. Let your heart start to sing each day. I talked about this in a recent video about the new year. I think we don't do this enough. Let your heart sing. So what I've been talking about is like, how do I face all of these things that I dread and that overwhelm me? But how do I actually make my heart sing today instead of just facing all of the hard stuff? And so I find a way to like get excited about creating this video, for example, or writing my blog posts, or um, working on a project with a team member. So that's how I get back into things. It's a matter of like just loosening myself up and moving into it. If you just start some motion, motion begets motion. So I want you to still focus on the smallest little bits of motion and then let that snowball at the appropriate pace. You shouldn't be really doing anything intense, nothing intense, really easy. Breathe, make it fun, let yourself move. And as you do that, things will get easier and easier. Okay, if you liked this video, please like it and comment. Let me know what helped you. Let me know if you have any questions about suggestions for future videos. I would really love that because I'm going to be making some videos coming up. It helps it to be discovered by the algorithm, so that helps other people to discover it. So that really does help. Every time you like it and comment, super helps. And if you think someone else could use some Zen habits in your life, please share this video with them. It would mean the world to me. Thanks, my friends. I'll talk to you later.